Remarks on the Assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. by Robert F. Kennedy, who is also known as Bobby Kennedy, on April 4th of 1968 in Indianapolis. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm only going to talk to you for a minute or so this evening because I have some very sad news for all of you. Could you please put down those signs, please? I have some very sad for all of you. And I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice between fellow human beings. He died in the cause of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time of the United States, it's perhaps well to ask what kind of nation we are and what direction we want to move in. For those of you who are black, considering the evidence that there were white people who were responsible, you can be filled with bitterness and with hatred and a desire for revenge. We can move in that direction as a country in greater polarization. Black people amongst blacks and white amongst whites, filled with hatred toward one another. Or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and to comprehend and replace the violence, that stain of bloodshed that has spread across our land, with an effort to understand compassion and love. For those of you who are black and tempted to be filled with hatred and mistrust of the injustice of such an act against all white people, I only say that I can also feel in my own heart the same kind of way. I had a member of my family killed, but he was killed by a white man. But we have to make an effort in the United States. We have to make an effort to understand, to get beyond or go beyond these rather difficult times. My favorite poet is Asteries, and he once wrote, "Even in our sleep, pain which cannot be forget falls drop by drop upon the heart, until in our own despair, against our will, comes wisdom, so the awful grace of God." What we need in the United States is not division. What we need in the United States is not hatred. What we need in the United States is not unlawfulness and violence, but is love, wisdom, and compassion with one another, and a feeling of justice toward those who suffer within our country, whether they be white or whether they be black. So I ask you tonight to return home, to say a prayer for the family of Martin Luther King. Yeah, it's true. But more importantly, say a prayer for our own country, which all of us love. A prayer for understanding and compassion, of which I spoke. We can do well today. We will have difficult times. We've had difficult times in the past, but we will have difficult times in the future. It is not the end of violence. It is not the end of lawlessness. And it is not the end of disorder. But the vast majority of white people and the vast majority of the black people in this country want to live together, want to improve the quality of life, and want justice for all human beings that are able to abide in our land. And let's dedicate ourselves to what the Greeks wrote so many years ago, to tame the savageness of man to the gentleness, the life of this world. Let us dedicate ourselves to that and say a prayer for our country and for our people. Thank you very much.